At Heroes of Cabernet, we're talking about Cabernet from around the world and showing some really excellent examples. Recently, I was very fortunate, was able to take a group to Argentina, to Vino Cobos, which is owned by Paul Hobbs, and we tasted Cocodrilo, which I've been carrying for a while, but I continue to be reminded this is such an amazing little wine, a great value. And so I wanted to talk about it again now. The 2021 vintage is here, and we have the ultimate expert with us today. His name is Carlos de Carlos, and he is the international sales director for Paul Hobbs' portfolio worldwide. I'm not even sure he knows what time zone we're in right now, but we are excited to have you here, Carlos. Thank you so much for giving us a minute to talk about the Cocodrilo.
Come on, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me and for considering Cocodrilo among your selected group of wines for this month.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We have a little slideshow I'll take us through. There's a look at the bottle. What does Cocodrilo mean?
Yeah, Cocodrilo is a good story because at the very beginning of Viña Cobos, we used to name um, varietals with different animals.
Hmm.
So felino, that is the Andean cat, it was Malbec. Cocodrilo represented Cabernet from Argentina, that means crocodile in Spanish. And then we had a bird from the Andes Mountains that was representing Chardonnay at the time.
Ah,
But in time, the introduction to Viña Cobos became felino entirely, so all the three varietals. And then people started to claim what happened with Cocodrilo, with the crocodile, because it was so famous for Viña Cobos. So Paul had the dream of producing a high quality Cabernet blend, Bordeaux Argentina blend. Um, and so we decided to call it Cocodrilo because the influence or the majority of the blend coming from Cabernet Sauvignon.
and we're in Mendoza. Uh, I just, being at the property, we've got some amazing views to show you. Optimal, Lojan de Coyo, yeah?
Yes, yes. Um, the the um, the viticulture in Argentina started around Luján de Cuyo, that is the area surrounding the city of Mendoza, and it's very natural because as you visited us, you realize that the climate in Argentina is very dry, almost semi-desertic. So we had to irrigate to grow, and it was very natural that the viticulture and the first vines were planted on the riverside of River Mendoza. And that is the case of Viña Cobos that you are seeing now in the picture, that is in the southern part of River Mendoza in a sub-appellation that is called Agrelo. And Agrelo today is best known as the most important source for high quality Cabernet from Argentina. So the best Cabernets from Argentina come from Agrelo, and some of the eldest vines of Cabernet are planted in that area. In particular, in our winery, we have vineyards up to 100 years old of Cabernet.
Beautiful, beautiful. I went quickly by the slide just so because I wanted people to see this shot as you're talking about the location. Um, but Cobos has been around for a while and has developed an amazing reputation. We also carry many other wines from not only Cobos but Paul Hobbs internationally throughout our store. But I was surprised. Does that say 1988?
Yeah, the winery started in 1998.
98.
Uh,
That's a typo then. Okay. I was
yes,
like, wow, I didn't realize it was that old. Okay. So
yes,
1998. Wow, that's still old.
yeah,
In
yeah, exactly.
terms of Argentine wine, that's
Yeah,
the boom.
yeah. But Paul has been in Mendoza since 1988, so it's right. He spent 10 years before founding Viña Cobos consulting different wineries, and he became one of the most important consultants and sort of father of quality Malbec in Argentina. So yes, 1988 is an important date for him as a
This
person in Argentina.
this winery has continued to be developed. The interior of the winery looks like the most organized, cleanest, most well-run winery, anywhere. I think the standards are usually pretty high.
Yes, well, in Paul Hobbs wineries, considering all the joint ventures as well, that are all the wineries that belong to Paul and are outside the United States, we have very strict protocols, and we use the same protocols to the ones that we have in the United States. So we are very world class standards, and I think that was one of the main influences of Paul in Argentina. So when he came to Argentina, he found out that the vineyards were beautiful, the soils were very, very nice. And because the climate is so dry, you could control the yielding of the vines. But then a lot of work had to be done in terms of improving the quality of farming and also improving the quality of our cellars and our wineries to be able to produce world-class wines. And I think that is probably the biggest influence of Paul in the whole Argentina industry, because he managed to work with people very closely to farm the vineyards very differently, and also to work in the cellars in a very different way, and that make a huge step up for the quality of the wines produced in Argentina. And probably Viña Cobos is a leading in that angle. Since the very beginning, we started from very humble origins, only $70,000, so we had to be hosted in other wineries. But soon we realized that we had to build our own winery, the one that you see in the pictures that is in the foothills of the Andes, because we needed to control the quality of the process. So it was not enough to produce very high quality grapes and manage them properly, harvesting even by night, because we were pioneers in harvesting by night in Argentina to preserve the quality of the grapes and get them intact from the vineyard to the winery. But then when the grapes arrive into the winery, we had to process them in gravity flow, in small tanks, with very clean tanks, very clean barrels, with very clear protocols and unique processes depending on the origin. And that had to be done in our own facilities. We couldn't do that in third-party facilities. So that pushed us to have our own winery.
This wine that we're tasting together is a Cabernet-based blend. And if you asked me, today, 2024, some of the most exciting, innovations in wine in Argentina are the elevation of single vineyard Cabernet Francs, which are a big part of this wine as well. Of course, the legendary Malbec. So all the good parts of what you're doing are blended here to make this Cocodrilo. And 94 points is a significant score for a wine of this price. And I'm certain that people will enjoy this at a very high level. We have carried this wine, this SKU, for multiple vintages. 21 as far as a vintage, another excellent year.
Yes, Ian. Thank you so much. I think what is interesting of Cocodrilo in general is that there are not so many high quality expressions of Cabernet. Argentina has dedicated a lot of efforts in producing high quality Malbecs in different locations, in different altitudes, as you said. But Paul, with his knowledge of Cabernet, he tried to explore Cabernet, but not only pure Cabernet, but also blending it as it was in the origin, of the Bordeaux blends.
Carlos, I thank you so much for giving us a little insight. I hope to meet you in person when you're ever in Los Angeles. And thank you for your time today.
It's my great pleasure, Ian, and I hope your customers enjoy Cocodrilo. It's a very fresh expression of Cabernet from Argentina. It's very tight, it's like linear, quite vertical.
Beautiful. Well, we'll taste it right now, and I'll get back some comments to you.
Very kind of you, Ian.